New MrBeast allegations have dropped again, and this time it's about faking parts of his charity work and some shady crypto stuff. Things are getting serious with MrBeast. You might have heard a bit, but if not, you'll definitely want to watch the full video. This time, there are major allegations from Rosanna and Dogpack claiming MrBeast might be exaggerating his charity work and could be involved in shady crypto dealings like market manipulation and more. It all kind of fits with what his buddies Logan and KSI have been involved in. Rosanna Pansino even posted a video about a week ago titled MrBeast is a criminal leaked video. Let's start with the part about philanthropy, where MrBeast supposedly convinced his audience he built an entire hospital, when he really didn't.
To go at the very top of a 9,000-foot mountain in a remote part of Nepal, this hospital looked like this.
That looks CGI.
But if you don't see the CGI at home, I'll point it out. This is the before shot of the hospital. This is the after shot, and then same thing over here. What I noticed is that Dan Mace, who's the director on Beast Philanthropy, did a behind-the-scenes video for this shoot where they build a hospital in Nepal or whatever.
Started off by getting the opening shots. I like to call these plinky plonk match cuts. These are great for
the building looks very different than in shots like this. And, you know, for one example, there's like moss growing here, which is...
Yeah, it looks more decrepit.
Yeah, and it's like
this
the concrete's breaking down right here. There's like holes in the roof. There's like all this random crap.
But in the real shot, there's no moss.
Yeah.
There's no decrepit.
Right here, you'll notice this pillar, 2 white lines. Right here, same pillar, 2 white lines. But there's a building behind it. So in this opening shot, where MrBeast says, this is what the hospital looked like a month ago, they digitally removed the entire hospital to make it look like they built the hospital.
Like they built the bigger building. Yeah.
But they didn't.
Oh.
Alright, so if this is true, it's a really bad look for MrBeast. His go-to defense is, I do charity work, so any shady stuff I do is automatically okay, but if the charity work isn't even legit, how can anyone trust him again? And let's be real, digitally removing an entire building in the before and after shots to make it seem like you built a whole hospital is just wild. Building a hospital can cost up to $100 million, so there's no way he's spending that much. We know some of his regular videos are faked, but we all assume the charity stuff was 100% real. You can't be using sketchy editing tricks to make charity videos look better. It's fine to add some effects in normal videos, but with charity work, you have to be honest and show exactly what you did. There are people paying you to deliver on those promises, and if you're out here telling people you built hospitals when all you did was install solar panels, that's pretty scummy behavior. I actually checked out the video called We Powered a Mountain, and people from Nepal commented saying he only added solar lights to the hospital, which was actually built by the Nepali government, not MrBeast. Every few weeks we hear something crazy about him, and if having criminals in his videos or shady lotteries wasn't enough, now we've got fake charity work to deal with. Turns out he also edited the footage to make the place look worse in the before shots, then made it look like he magically fixed everything. That kind of editing magic for charity work? Totally unacceptable.
Perfect.
But yeah, they did that to make it look all broken down and decrepit, adding all these, like all this trash. Like this looks like a PlayStation 2 graphic.
It doesn't have any of that in the video.
And these pictures were used in news articles to show that MrBeast revitalizes Nepal hospital. What they actually did in the video was just install solar panels. They didn't build the hospital, but he made it seem like they did. And the danger with this is like, where do you draw the line?
Right.
Because if you're exaggerating what you're doing as a charity, then you're taking attention and funding away from other charities who might be more honest. Because like, why would I donate to someone who's, you know, raising guide dogs for blind people when MrBeast can just apparently cure blindness?
Dogpack makes a really solid point here. When you start exaggerating your charity work, it's a slippery slope. Some people might end up donating to you instead of a charity that's actually doing more, just because that other charity is being honest about what they do. Meanwhile, you're basically lying about your impact. Now, in this next part, they point out how a house MrBeast claimed to have built might be fake, or at the very least, they added some CGI elements to make it look better than it really was.
A secluded town in the middle of nowhere looked like this.
You saw it?
The building. Look at how fake this tank looks.
That's definitely a fake tank.
Look how fake these flowers are.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm a girl, I know my flowers, okay? No.
So, but I think there is some part of a real building here, but then they just use generative AI or you know, editing or whatever to expand it, because it's like, there's things, look at that.
It's no.
And then like the building here is like expanding. So it's like they added on the whole back half of the building. The flowers here are like not lining up. You can barely tell that this is faked. So like, how many things like this are they getting away with where they're making it look like they did more than they actually did? Because they say that this is what the town looks like now, and then this is what it looked like before.
Yeah.
And it's just not true.
It's dishonest.
These are just allegations for now, but it's tough to trust someone who edits their before and after shots. It makes you wonder, was the town really that bad before, or was it edited to look worse? And does the house really look like that now, or did they CGI in random things like a tank and flowers to make it seem better than it is? It's super dishonest to go about things this way. And seriously, why is the house all wavy? It might be some kind of transition effect they used. That's what I thought at first. But what if it's done on purpose to hide the fact that parts of the house are fake? It's honestly heartbreaking to think that a lot of the charity work could be exaggerated or faked. I just don't get why they can't be straight up and honest about it. But apparently, getting more YouTube views is more important than doing real, honest charity work.
This is a message from a former MrBeast employee who knows of the philanthropy. He says, I was told that the philanthropy side was supposed to be Jimmy's get out of jail free card if he ever got canceled. They wanted Jimmy to win a Nobel Prize within the next few years. And then parts are cut out for privacy. It's all just for clout and social status. I feel like them helping people is literally on the bottom of their to-do list. He's making it look like they did more than they actually did. Here's one where he claimed to build 100 wells, but in multiple shots, you see the same wells listed as different wells. Well 29 and 67 were the same. He also said he built a bunch of wells in Kenya, but then showed wells that were
Yeah, it's pretty obvious at this point that the charity angle is just a way to boost his brand. He's clearly obsessed with being the biggest and maintaining a huge reputation. A lot of people see that kind of charity work and want to partner with him. I wouldn't be shocked if behind the scenes he doesn't care at all about any of it. What's wild is that he's been caught lying before, claiming he reinvests all his money into his videos or the charity and that he's actually poor. But that's clearly not true, as you'll see in the next part where Jimmy is gambling over $10 million on random crypto stuff and allegedly involved in market manipulation and rug pulls. Obviously, none of that money was earmarked for charity. Rosanna also points out the huge gap between how much Jimmy actually earns and how little goes to his charity.
In the Time magazine article where he was interviewed called In the Belly of the Beast, Jimmy says that he brings in about $700 million in revenue a year. And Jimmy Donaldson defends his philanthropic work against charges of poverty profiteering by pointing out that it is funded by his main channel, which sends the charity $100,000 a month. Let's do a little bit of basic math. So annual revenue, $700 million, and you're donating $100K to your charity every month. What percentage is that? What percentage of all of your revenue is donated to your charity? Out of all of the money that he makes, he donates about 0.2% to charity. That donating that money is also a tax write-off. So when he says that he gives all of his money away, that is not true. And when he says he reinvests all the money into his videos, that is also
Okay, so it's clear that MrBeast has expenses and not all of that $700 million is going to charity or his videos. But charity clearly isn't a priority if it's only 0.2%, right? That whole I'm a billionaire but I'm still poor act is just ridiculous. He's obviously filthy rich and has tens of millions to spare for his own leisure and addictions like gambling. So that claim about reinvesting 100% back into charity is completely false. I know that whenever you call out MrBeast for his shady charity practices, people are going to comment, well, have you given $100,000 to charity? As if donating money means you can't be criticized at all. There are plenty of extremely shady people who have donated a lot of money to charity, so we're not just pointing out inconsistencies and lies for the sake of it. It's just not cool, you know? Anyway, that wraps up the charity portion of the video. Now, we've got to dive into the shady crypto stuff, starting with them allegedly admitting to market manipulation on Logan Paul's podcast, Impulsive.
Here he is with Logan Paul admitting to partaking in what sounds to me like market manipulation.
So me and Logan both bought punks. You guys have probably seen on his Twitter that he bought a bunch of crypto punks at the same time, right?
Yep.
Gary pulled us in
Yep.
that call.
Yep.
So have you ever told that story?
No.
Gary V, it's like fucking 11 p.m. just out of nowhere, just calls me and he's like, "Yo, I got like 30 people to call. Hop in." I'm like, I don't care. He's like, "It'll be the best decision of your life. Just get in." I'm
Yeah,
like, okay.
yeah.
And so I just joined the call and I just see like Logan and I don't even know these other people. I don't want to put them on blast.
every heavy hitter you can imagine that was worth $1 billion was on this one call, and Gary V is in the little corner, the little square. He's going, CryptoPunks. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be the next Facebook. Where all of us were like, okay,
Everyone's
Gary.
judging. I'm texting Logan. And I'm like,
is
Gary
this,
lost
is
his
this
mind.
legit? Bro, all of us were like, yo, Gary's nuts. Yo, Gary was right again.
Yeah,
What
well,
the
we got to keep the story going. So there's like all these like very successful people in this call, and Gary's just like, everyone shut the fuck up. Here's what you're gonna do, and you're gonna do it right now. You're all gonna buy a bunch of CryptoPunks, and we're all just like, he's like, who here owns one? And like one guy raised his hand, and it's because Gary bullied.
Oh man, it's wild to think you've got all these billionaires on one call, and then you've got Gary Vee saying, hey guys, we can make another bajillion dollars right now, just buy this one thing. He's super confident, claiming that by all of them buying into it, they're going to totally change the market. But let's be real, half of these guys are influencers too, so they'll be promoting it to their followers. That means they're definitely pumping up the price of that asset, and then they'll just sell it off after inflating it. That's a really shady thing to admit on a podcast, honestly. It's like they're all just sitting around, a clique of billionaire friends, allegedly manipulating the market. Ain't no way that's good for anyone except them.
When Jimmy's talking about the phone call with the billionaires, it sounds like the billionaires are coordinating together to buy an asset. And then when they buy that asset and promote it to their fans, it becomes more valuable, and then they sell. Classic pump and dump. Also, when Gary Vee says, this will be the best decision of your life, I'm just asking questions, but does that sound like he has insider information?
Yeah, it definitely sounds like that, but I don't think we're dealing with a US congressman situation here. They can definitely influence the market significantly with their huge audiences and stuff. It's definitely shady behavior. I'm not saying he has insider info or anything, but it's really not a good look for the #1 YouTuber to be associated with this. Then after all that, MrBeast actually admits to buying some of these NFTs. And let's be real, everyone on the internet just loves NFTs, right? They're totally not linked to scams or anything scummy at all.
I was just so pulled by his like conviction.
Yeah.
That I bought a bunch.
Wait.
Yeah, I bought quite a few.
How many?
I don't want to say, but
You have to say,
please.
but you have to.
I bought multiple ones. Yeah.
Well, bro, are you in double digits, Punks?
Double, just shy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
cool, cool.
So
Yo, if you had-
all right, but-
he's imagine just said 60.
No.
Three zombies.
I bought like 8 of them, and they did pretty good.
And any zingers? Any like real special
yeah,
ones?
I had some that like whatever 20-30x.
What's a
We bought a lot with like the cigarettes because I thought
Cool.
that was an interesting attribute, and those did pretty well.
what's another characteristic? Like, what's your rarest characteristic, Punk?
So then I rolled the money into V Friends because Gary, same thing, called me. He's like, V Friends. I was like, I don't fucking.
Awesome plan. I'm just going to follow everything Gary Vee says. I have no idea how he's doing it, but he's somehow pulling cash from thin air. The funniest part is that anyone outside their little circle can see how sketchy this all looks. Mike, the host of Logan Paul's podcast, is like, hold on guys, are you really sure you're not manipulating the market here?
Can I ask you guys a question? When Gary does that call with all these billionaires, and 8 months or a year later, everybody's like, Gary was right again.
Yeah.
Is it possible that he's right because of the call? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think about that a lot.
dude, he has all these
I think about
billionaire
that a
market
lot.
makers in the thing.
think about
He
that a
makes
lot.
the call, makes the market. By the way, you look around at all the punk owners a year later, and you're like, damn, it's all the same fuckers that were on the call.
No, because bro, there's 10,000 punks, and there's only like 30 of us in the call. We can only own and do so much. There's still an entire market that's gonna happen regardless.
I can tell you, I don't think why because that was all back like.
Absolutely. I doubt that. I mean, why would I even think I'm manipulating the market? That would make me a scumbag, and I'm clearly not one of those. How ironic is it that he's having this convo with Logan Paul, who allegedly ran CryptoZoo, one of the biggest scams out there? Right after that, Logan starts pitching this legendary idea for making quick cash and wants MrBeast to jump in too. Sounds super familiar, doesn't it? I can't quite put my finger on it, but it definitely rings a bell.
It is.
Gary called me, and we have these talks. Like we talk probably every other day at least.
Yeah.
And he called me like a month ago. He's like, Logan, I promise you, like I know you. You're a smart kid. If you play this right, like I know you can, like you do with Pokemon, the NFT industry, you can make $250 million.
Yeah.
And I go,
How do you not
I go,
like perk up?
How's this? But he's never wrong, right? So that's where I started.
Yeah.
And then, bro, the other day, I got the idea,
Yeah.
and I want to run it by you. Not now, off the podcast, but I'm pretty sure I had the most revolutionary, monumental piece of IP in my head, and I've been I can't sleep for the past like
Interesting.
2
so
days.
like for making your own version of punk.
No. Just a really
Yeah, guys, it's just a super special NFT project. Thanks, Logan. What an incredible idea. I mean, you really seem like a crypto NFT expert. From now on, I'm taking all my advice from you, and that's why KSI, MrBeast, and Logan Paul have been working together behind the scenes. They've been plotting their business moves and finding every way possible to squeeze money out of their audiences. Total scumbags.
Absolute scumbags.
Well, here's a tweet of him promoting it. At Gary V. I'm loaded up on some V friends. Can't wait to see.
MrBeast is totally that stereotypical character you see in TV shows, you know, the one with dollar bills in their eyes. He's basically like Mr. Krabs. Money, money, money. It's wild. I mean, how dumb do you have to be to admit this stuff online and even upload it to the Impulsive Clips channel? The comment section is just lit up with disbelief and everyone's calling them out.
All calling them out.
Admitting to market manipulation on YouTube, LMAO. Gary running the greatest insider pump and dump group, lol. How is everyone such a big fan of him? If this were equities, they'd all be jailed for market manipulation. I like how casually MrBeast is discussing doing a rug pull. How is this man not in prison and instead is a
Well, honestly, that's just the reality of becoming a top YouTuber these days. KSI, Logan, and MrBeast are all at the top and have pulled some seriously shady moves, so it's not really shocking anymore. It's great to see that people are starting to catch on to the truth little by little. The Dogpack video series really highlighted a lot of the blemishes on MrBeast's team, and even though Dogpack hasn't been uploading much lately, he's still digging into MrBeast's crypto wallets and apparently found over $10 million there.
$10 there.
He goes by the name Wu-Tang Clan. So some notable things about this account, it was worth over $10 million in April of 2021.
Oh my goodness, look at that one. That's a high spike. Wait, how much is that?
That's
again?
a lot of money for a guy who gives away all his money.
How much is that?
That's over $10 million. He had invested in this company called Refinable. He had invested. And it seems like he allowed this company to use his likeness. He was certainly letting them use his brand to promote this cryptocurrency. I do have his crypto account, and it did receive $560,000 in Refinable token. But I mean, anything could have happened. I mean, he could have got that randomly from anyone. MrBeast having invested in Refinable.
Oh, got it. So they tweet about it.
They tweet about it, and then the price went up, and then he sold
it. Right.
And now, currently today, Refinable is down 99.97%, which is worse than.
Wow, what a fantastic investment. MrBeast's face on it and down 99.7%. I definitely want to buy some of that. It looks just like a classic rug pull. He might have given them permission to use his face, but if not, you'd think they'd get sued or something. Maybe they used it without his permission, but I can't confirm any of that. Any crypto investigative experts out there? CoffeeZilla, it's time for you to take a look at this. You've already taken down Logan and KSI, so now it's MrBeast's turn, the biggest dog in the game.
Dog of them all.
A couple months later, he did invest in another project called XCAD with KSI. 2 months after receiving $277,000 in XCAD, he sold it all. I'm not saying it's a pump and dump, but he allowed them to use his likeness, pumping the currency, and then dumped it. Yeah, so it seems like he's had millions of dollars to throw around in the crypto space, which is kind of strange considering that he claims to give all his money away and reinvest it into the videos.
So are you one of the rich people they want to eat? Or are you
I'm not that rich.
Not yet.
You are way more rich than me.
But I give my money away. I'm poor.
So he gives all of his money.
Jimmy's actually the brokest dude ever. He's like the poorest billionaire in the world. Now, Rosanna's is also calling out MrBeast for possibly gambling illegally on sites that are banned in the US. This whole situation just keeps getting crazier.
US.
And it appears that they are gambling on Bustabit, which is a website that is illegal in the United States.
Holy shit. Holy shit, that's probably the stupidest thing I've ever done. The crazy thing is that people are here.
He says, oh shit, that's probably the stupidest thing I've ever done. What you can see in the reflection of these large windows at night is the Bustabit website. This video is only a couple years old, so it shows that he is continuing to do this behavior, and not only gambling, but
MrBeast keeps pushing gambling to his young fans, even though he's lost a ton of money from it and knows how harmful it can be. This is really worrying, especially when he teamed up with Fiesta BS and introduced a lottery-style game. He's made videos like, I spent $30,000 on lottery tickets, I spent $50,000 on scratch-offs, and even one where he dropped $1 million on scratch-offs. The scary part, these videos seem aimed at kids. In them, he shows how to scan a ticket and win money, making it look super easy. In one video, he even shows how a $50 ticket won him $200. Basically, he's teaching kids how to gamble, which is not cool for someone who claims to be family friendly. It's clear he has a big thing for gambling and lotteries. Plus, there's worry about his deleted live stream giveaways, which some say were illegal lotteries. Recently, MrBeast got some heat on Twitter for offering a job to an AI artist right after he rewarded Jaden Animations for sending a fan to art school. People thought this was pretty hypocritical, and a tweet calling him out for not hiring real artists got over 100,000 likes. Also, there's a long thread about his ties to crypto, where folks pointed out he promoted Coinbase in a video but later edited it out. His old Reddit account shows he's had bad luck with Coinbase but still pushed it for the cash. Don't forget to hit the like button to show your support. Thanks for all the love.